Alrighty guys, so it's time for tow bar electrics. I got this kit with the tow bar. It's a PCT Automotive ZK4508 towing interface module plus 12N pre-wired socket kit. Suitable for use on 12 volt negative earth vehicles only, not Jaguar S or XJS. So, see what's in here. So we got our socket, which is a pretty standard, 12N trailer lighting socket. It's pre-wired, which is good. Means I don't have to do all that crap. So what else we got? We got the socket. Got a bag of bits and pieces. Those Scotch lock connectors and bolts and nuts and just general gubbins. We have this guy, which is the interface module. Back in the day, and certainly the last time that I ever wired up a tow bar, you just literally got one of these and you just ran that inside the car and just spliced into the connections for the tail lights, so things like brake lights, reversing lights, indicators, that kind of thing. It was very straightforward. But in modern cars, and the Land Yacht being no exception here, despite its 15 years of age, you can't do that because the lights are controlled electronically and have things like filament monitoring and various things like that going on. So what you typically do is you just need a box of tricks like this, which basically connects to all of the you just basically connect your socket to one side of it here. You connect a fused battery 12 volt connection here, and then you basically tap into your normal lighting harness with this guy. It plugs in here, and what happens is it's just basically a solid state relay. It just takes the signal when you activate certain lights, and so on, and the power to run them through the trailer socket is just drawn from the 12 volt battery connection. So this is a fairly standard setup for modern vehicles. I suspect, looking at that thing there, it might even have a reversing beeper in there. So okay, let's crack on, and let's get the socket fitted to the car first. Then we'll start figuring out what we need to do with all this crap. Fitting the socket to the car is no real beans. There's just some simple nuts and bolts here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pretty much throw that straight on there. There is a gasket on the back that you want to make sure fits on there to keep water out of the back of it. I will say it feels like really cheap quality, really cheap plastic, but there's a pretty good spring on the cover, so hopefully it'll do what I need it to do. Alright. Just gonna get them on here. I got a second one here. No, that didn't quite line up, did it? That one did. This one didn't. Imagine my surprise. But again, they came with the kit, so I'm just sticking with them. Sockets fitted. Alright, so what we want to do next is we want to get our cable inside the car. And to do that, they've provided us with a little grommet here that'll basically protect the cable from any abrasion on the drill hole through the vehicle body. So I'm going to go drill a hole now, and then we'll get this guy set up. Have a quick look inside. You're fitting a grommet, very important to deburr the hole. Tiny little bit of silicone spray. It's in there and it'll do its job. Let's fish in the cable. This is where all my EV bits being in the way can be something of a slight problem. There we go. Alrighty, so I've wired up the relay unit. This is pretty much paint by numbers. There's one ground here that we'll have to connect to chassis. Really is a pity that they didn't put a ground connection on here somewhere, but I suppose it saved them a few pennies. Got a 12 volt ground wire connected up, and yeah, the 12 volt positive connection for power here. The fuse holder that they supplied is really low rent even by my standards, and seeing as I have such a short run to go to the 12 volt positive, I just decided to use one of my own preferred type of inline fuse holder here. It's got factory made terminals, sealed. It's got a boot on it, and pretty much all we got to do is just going to be stuff it in here, tighten that up, and we're all set to basically fit this thing into the car. Alright, so I elected to leave the full length of the cable on the 12N socket, simply because I'm sure this isn't the last car that I'll have this particular rig on, so I can just tie this away, and it means that I don't have to go extending cables at a later date should I need to fit it to a different vehicle. So if I identified a spot here just right down beside the 12 volt battery, and I'm going to pretty much just attach the unit on there. I can get a ground here, and I can just screw it all in. And I got very easy access to my 12 volt power and ground connections directly to the 12 volt battery. Alright, so that's the actual relay box in. I just took the simple choice, mounted it here with a couple of self-drilling screws. 12N socket electrics connected here. I got a ground here on the chassis rail, and yeah, I just used that one of my own fuse holders straight onto the 12 volt positive, picked up a ground there, just on a grounding point, and that's that part of it done. I left all the wires the full length and just tied them back up again, just if I decided that I wanted to use these electrics in another vehicle at a future date. It kind of gives me that expandability. So now the last piece of the puzzle is to get the signals from the car's lighting circuits into the relay box with this piece of kit. Alright, so my thinking here is this wiring bundle here carries the lighting wires from the left side of the car, and I've got the right side of the car here in this bundle. Some of these mods you'll see here I have to do due to poor connections in the tracks on the lighting cluster, just due to age and corrosion. So I'm going to be able to tap in here and here. So I'm going to undo some of these horrible plastic wiring tiebacks. Alright, so I'm just in the process of tapping into the various signal wires in the car, going to the lights with this harness and some of these I think they're called Scotch lock connectors, or I don't know what they're called, but I don't like them. I haven't used them in years, and I'm just beginning to remember now why that's the case, really, because I'd say I could be in trouble with a couple of them. But anyway, it's just pretty much getting these wires connected in here to the appropriate place and following the wiring diagram. Just using a test lamp just to determine what wires do what. No need for wiring diagrams or anything of the sort. So in this case here, this wire here is the right side indicator. So I'm just going to tap into it here probably just before the connection. So right side indicator, it says, is green. So get the green wire here. Try to get this horrible thing to engage on the existing wire I think we're on. Shove the green wire in there. And a pair of pliers. Just basically crimp it down, and I missed. Yeah. This is why I hate these things. And of course they didn't give any spares, because like, yeah, a lot of these things are just not very good. There we go, that's got it. That's got it. Then you gotta try and close this plastic window on it, which is no, that's just these things really are nonsense. Only for I'm in a hurry. Yeah, it's broken off. Only for I'm in a hurry, I wouldn't be using them. So it'd be the more hurry, less speed. All the connections made. I was able to resurrect that last connector, and so it's pretty much done. Again, I left the full length of the cable on there, just tied it up out of the way. I got my 15 amp fuse. Let's go fit it. Oh, okay, I don't know if that's a good sound or not, but alright, want you guys to shout to me if this is working. I'll try something simple first. Let's throw on the hazard lights. Now they're working and this stupid thing is beeping away. Put a bit of tape over that. That should be left indicator. More beeping away again. Right indicator. This is all going too well, isn't it? Let's try reversing lights. Oh, it's not beeping. Of course, I've no reversing lights on this tailboard. That's brilliant. Try some side lights. Oh, wrong switch. There's side lights. Alright, side lights are on. And fog lights, I don't suppose they're on this. I don't suppose they have fog lights on this board either. I think it's the real cut price special. Oh no, we do. There's a fog light over there, and I've got one dodgy one myself that I need to fix here. I'm going to clean some connections. Okay, fog lights working. Fog lights and side lights are working. Get my helping hand. We check the brakes. And we got brakes. We got brakes on both sides of the car. Yeah, we do. Okay. Well, we got brake lights. I'll be damned, guys. The thing works. Folks, so that was our tow bar and tow bar electrics install video on the land yacht. Pretty soon we're going to be getting a trailer rigged up so we can tow stuff and move stuff around, and it won't be limited to normal trailer duties. We've some EV related projects coming down the line, and yeah, so it's going to be fun. And I know I'm probably certainly not the first EV to tow something in the world, but I quite might be the first EV to tow something in this country. So folks, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for your support, and stay with me for some more exciting updates.